Why am I sitting on top of salt shakers, you ask? Come with me and let's find out. So I was asked to create these seasonings for Premadonna. So I first started out cutting out my foam. The foam comes in different sizes, and all I did was attach 2 pieces that were already thick. So I'm sanding down the cylinder tops. And instead of painting, just to give a nice clean look, I am going to wrap these in vinyl. Now vinyl is tricky sometimes because in the heat, it will come up. So it's best to stay in a nice cool area, or keep these in a nice cool area, or apply extra adhesion to it. So I try to follow the bottle as I see it on the picture, and I see that the top is rounded as well as the top's bottom is rounded. So I will sand all the way on both sides. And here you can see how it started out before I sanded them and all the pieces that it required. So I am going to turn it over on its bottom and round that off too. Sometimes you could just take a sander and round it, but I needed more off, so I decided to use the blade. So I'm going to cut all of my bottoms the same way and sand them smooth. So I think I am using a 60 to 80 grit block to sand these down. And I bought these blocks off of Amazon. They were a bunch for little to low price. So the next thing I am about to apply is my glue. It feels a lot like the Elmer's glue. Normally I would use Great Stuff for this, but Great Stuff has the tendency to expand and leave a gap. And for this part, I would like for it to lay flat. If you notice, I do write numbers on there. It's because I sanded a particular way, and when I line it back up, I would like to know how I sanded it. It's different sanding patterns. As I'm doing everything manually, it's not a machine cutting it, so there are imperfections. So next I have taken my vinyl and I have cut strips so it can go around the short area first. Well, technically this is the long area, the circumference of the circle. Removing the backing, and I will also add a little bit of heat so it can tighten to the foam. And now I'm just cutting off the extra pieces that I don't need, that's going on top, so you don't have to see all of the ruffled look. Now, I'm not someone that works with vinyl all the time, so me trying to get this flat was not it. So now for the top part, I just take a piece of vinyl that fully covers, and I am peeling it off, and I am just going to press it on. I think that's the easiest way to do this. Boom. And here we are cutting off the extra parts that we do not need. Okay, after I change the channel. Now we shall cut off the extra parts that we do not need. We are taking the heat gun just to get it to adhere a little bit better. And voila, here we have it. So I got cute for this scene, and I shall let the camera do the talking for this next part. Okay, I came up with this idea for these seasonings. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but yeah. Okay. These bottles I bought from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. So basically what I did here was paint it first, and then I applied the seasoning salt all the way around. Not seasoning salt, the oregano all the way around. And then what I'm gonna come back and do is put the high gloss, hold on, let me get it for y'all. This high gloss finish on top of it to give it like this pretty gloss coat to make it look like it's in a plastic bottle. You know, I'm just hoping it turns out the way I'm thinking in my head. So yeah, you know, creativity, y'all, creativity. We'll see how this turns out. I got faith, hope. Okay, so here we are. Let's try it out. So I'm not the one to use adhesive for like glitters or anything like that. I normally just apply it directly to the paint. The paint hardens, and I'd rather just come behind it with a sealant. So that high gloss that you saw, something like that. All right, and let's get these finished up. You gotta wait on the top or the bottom to dry before you can do the other side. I said to dry before you can do the other side. Sorry about that. Flip it over, do that side, the top, bottom. All right, and then we shall wrap it in the morning and put the tops on. Okay, had to bring it home so I could work some more because baby was not allowing me to do nothing. So you can see, I'm not gonna do the bottom, the middle here, because the wrap is gonna go all the way around. And if I was smart, I would have got the wrap to connect. But I ended up trying to be authentic and leaving the back part out. So now I have to go down like the middle this way to put the seasoning or spice on there, because the wrap won't cover the whole thing. That was not smart of me at all. So, painting the bottom of these. So, I'll be back. So, there is no adhesive on this seasoning, only because I feel like paint is its own adhesive. It's so I don't know, gluey. Every time I'm painting something and I'm trying to pull it together, that's enough adhesive for me. So, yep, not putting anything on this. So the seasoning will go directly on here. I got brown, and I'm mixing a little bit of black. And I'm just gonna lightly do the very bottom, not a lot, because I don't even think I'm gonna epoxy the bottom. I don't know yet. Very light, not even much. End of that anyway. So I forgot to mention the dowel that I have sticking out of there is strictly for the top piece, so that way I can put my glue and center the piece. And it just helps lock everything in place. I guess some of my things got out of order, but you can see I definitely have a cinder block on top to help push down the great stuff. So this was one of my first, maybe 1 or 2 times working with epoxy. I think I'm learning not to go cheap when it comes to epoxy. This did not give off the look that I wanted. Maybe I needed to do multiple coats, and I know I did too. And the seasoning was still sticking out of it. But we're gonna mix these two. It was so difficult because you know how people do the tumblers and they have maybe a drill slowly rotating it so that all of it is applying evenly. I didn't have that. These are entirely too big to constantly rotate. This was no fun. Tell them, Callie, this was no fun for me. So yeah, we are going to put part A in a cup and then part B in a cup and mix the two. So yeah, here we go. I had this one epoxy that did so good back in the day. And I put those on my cheer stick when I first came out with the cheer stick idea. Yeah, I used to epoxy them. Whoops, how did that get in there? So I ended up going back to my Mod Podge to seal it off. That wasn't Mod Podge. That was actually a sealer, polyurethane sealer. So sorry about that. To seal it off because there was no time to wait on the epoxy to dry to apply another coat. Some of them got epoxy, some of the epoxy ran off and I had to sand it down. It just didn't do what I wanted it to do, or I'm just not that experienced with it yet. So here you can see again, I am applying great stuff so that the tops do not come off. And I'm going to place this plexiglass in between the weight, so that way the weight doesn't scratch up my vinyl, because I worked so hard to get that on there to make it look nice and clean. So after everything here dries, and you can see that long part that I was talking about where the label did not cover. But yeah. After everything dries, here is the finished results. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake them. Okay, yeah. I think they look pretty cool. I think they look exactly like her seasonings. A little boomerang here. Boom, boom. You see how long my nails was? That was my pregnancy, my postpartum look. But yeah, anyways, this is not about me. Let's get back to it. Let's look at them at the event and tell me what you guys think per usual. Let me know feedback. How do they look? Yeah. Is this something you see yourself doing? We also did the wave wall in the back, the bar, and the name across the top, Premadonna. And we also did a large book. We have a fairy tale book with Once Upon a Time on the face of it. She asked to turn it backwards and put her book cover on it, and I think it turned out just well. So yeah, guys, leave me a review in the comments. We are trying to get our watch hours up, so if you could just play the whole video, y'all, please. Let's like, share, comment, subscribe. All right, till next time, we'll be back.